Just one moment. Right, that's good. All right, so here we are. Let's jump off, pick up for where we left off last week. Um, Again, I have to put on my little disclaimer because of the fact we're getting close to things and I don't want nothing coming back. For the most part, I do not have license to give financial advice and or um, legal advice. If you need those services, please do your due diligence and get a professional with license to give that advice. That being said, I do have my own opinion on things and I share my opinion with you. Call it education, call it entertainment, whichever. So if you care to go further with me, it is of your own decision. All right, so that's a whole lot of stuff you got to say, what not to keep yourself out of trouble. So, for the most part, I want to talk about um, not the banks today. I want to talk about the actual devices. And I want to get clarity on how to use your devices and what's going to transpire here very shortly. Depending on the device you have, and I'm talking about cold storage. This is a Trezor 3 safe. Of course, there's countless others, but they all pretty much work the same way. So I want to go over that. And I also want to allude to the fact that things are changing drastically day by day. But the real change that we're looking for, I don't think you're going to see until January 20, because we're still on someone else's watch. And a lot of the things that we're waiting for and looking for and need will not, in my own opinion, of course, be released until then. But that gives us at least a month and a half to get acclimated with these devices, not only the cold storage, but the wallet, the crypto debit card, and your cell phone. So I know you being the younger crowd, that you use your devices a little bit more than some of us, and I'll include myself because before, I guess, 2010, I didn't use a cell phone like I do now. So I'm kind of still in that same arena, and I could speak for both sides of the cell phone. But for one thing, I want to touch on today is how to use all of these devices together. This is the evolution that I was telling you about, the evolution that you are seeing for your own um, education. You're seeing it for yourself at the very moment. You are seeing that the incoming administration is all about cryptocurrency, digital currency, and things of that nature. So, with that knowledge, we have to take this opportunity and get fine tuned to using these devices. It's important. It's not only important, it's vital for your future. All right. So, what I'd like to do, I don't know how well this is going to work out. So, I have to take it as it comes. So, we're going to start with the cell phone. We're going to start with the cell phone. And what I'd like you to do, if you have your cell phone in front of you, open it up, and if you would go to your apps page. The apps page is going to have all of the apps that you have on your phone in one location that you can select and choose and do what you need to do. All right, that's called the apps page or pages. Mine has I got a bunch. I probably got 9, 12, 15, 26 pages. I have 26 pages of apps, and there's 4, 8, 12, 16, 24 apps per page. Okay, and a page should look like this, or if you don't have as much stuff on your phone as I do, it may be less. Either way, this is where the apps are. All the apps on your phone are in this arena. All right. So, knowing that, depending on how your phone is set up, it may be in alphabetical order, or it may be just whenever you add something, it just goes and takes the next available spot. Some phones automatically do alphabetical. I set mine up to do that. Some of them aren't able to be set depending on your phone. Like I said, this is the Samsung Z Fold. It's basically like a computer. It is a computer because I could do pretty much everything on this as I can on the computer in front of me. I could actually hold this call on here. Probably better because this is not as near as slow as this one. But anyway, the apps. Once you get to the apps, you should look through and see what's in there. I have a bunch of pages because I play the games or whatever, and a lot of this is games. Most of the serious stuff is on here too, but there's also a lot of games, which are going to go away in the next week because I need it chopped down to essentials. Now, in your apps page or pages, you need to find your wallets if you've loaded them. If you have not, and we're going to back up to your home page on, not there, here. Your home page, which has your time, has the date, the page that comes up anytime and every time you open the phone. On this home page, you should have the plus, the Apple Plus, whatever, the store, or Play Store if you have an Android, Play Store. Play Store is where you go get apps. I know this is probably child's play to you, not to call you children, but you know what it is. There's others on here, and I just want to make sure everybody is on the same page. So if this is kind of, I know already, just bear with me. So you're either going to click on Play Store or the Apple Store, and you're going to see how to go. Wait a minute. You'll be able to go purchase or download apps. Okay? When you get to the Play Store or the Apple Store, whichever you have, you're going to put in the search box. We're going to get wallets. So we want to get a wallet to put on our phone. So you would type in whatever wallets that you are familiar with. And if you are not familiar with all the wallets, you can also go to YouTube, put in top best wallets 2024, and it'll give you a list of wallets. And usually you can play all the videos and they will explain how these wallets work. And this is why I call YouTube the college before a free college, basically. You can go on there and learn whatever you want. And pretty much both of you that are in college, I think it's Jaden and Keith Hand, you could literally go to college on YouTube. Of course, it's way less information, but you get my point. You can learn pretty much anything you want. And if you already have studies that you're studying in college, you can back up and research by going to YouTube and get more. That's called doing due diligence. Get Instead of one professor's point of view, you can get multiple ideas. Same with the wallet. Now, you've heard me talk about, and I'm sure you, being the young crowd, probably already have wallets on your phones. But if you don't, there is Trust Wallet, there's Exodus. Those two are um, decentralized. If you put a wallet on your phone, it should be a decentralized wallet. Okay, a decentralized wallet. Exodus, Trust, there's a bunch of them. How do you find them? Put it in YouTube. Decentralized wallets, and they'll give you a list of them. Most of these wallets can be put on a cell phone. Okay. And once you put it on the cell phone, you have to go through all the processes to activate it, to monetize it by connecting it to a bank account or what have you, because you can actually purchase cryptos and what have you right in your wallet. Most of them. They have the store or basically the exchange where you purchase your said cryptos or soon to be digital currencies. All right. And that makes it digitized. All right. Anything you do on here is digital. All right. So that's your wallet. Now, once you get your wallet, let me go back to the apps page. Let me see if I can find mine. A, B, C, D. I thought I had one. Okay, right here. You'll see Coinbase. I'm just picking on him because that's the first one that's there. Coinbase, that's already on my phone. Um, Chime, right next to it. It's not a wallet, but it will be soon. Chime is right next to Coinbase. Okay. So you see how they get on the phone. Once it's on the phone, you want to open it up. I'm going into Coinbase. It needs an update. So I click update and then update it. It's updating in the Play Store. It automatically went to the Play Store to get the update. That's why you need to know about the Play Store and how that works. Okay, Coinbase buy Bitcoin and Ether. That's the update. Now you could buy those two by updating the Coinbase app. I'm going to install, verifying fingerprint. Everything I do on my phone is biometric protected. You can't do anything without this. Okay, so that's why I really like Samsung because they believe in that biometric pad on the phone. Sometimes it's on the back. The blue, bold like you, the blue phones were really intense about the finger pad. Okay, once it verifies, it's installing. And this is what you should be doing. On a regular basis, go into your apps, make sure that you're still connected. You have your passwords. That should be in your notebook. So you guys should have notebooks too, actually. Yours started out with the evolutions and all that good stuff. Now you're moving into basically the same call as the adults. Okay, because we're all pretty much talking about the same thing. You should have a notebook, excuse me, with your email addresses, passwords, and anything you have opened up or started should be in that notebook. All right. Let's see if this will open now. It's still installing. Install. Okay. Verify. Okay, so it's going to do it later. I guess it's taking the old one off and putting on the new one. That's what it does all by itself. So that's part of that process. So you want to go through your phone and make sure you have on your phone all of the wallets. We're only talking about wallets right now, on your phone that you're going to use. I would also make a copy in your notebook. I got a Coinbase, I have an Exodus, I have a this, I have a that, I have a this. I would say 4 to 5 different wallets, depending on what you plan to do. But you want at least 2 to 3 of them decentralized. 1 or 2 of them need to be centralized so that you can work with different things, things that are going to be tracked. Remember, you are in business. If you don't have a business yet, you will be. So you are going to be doing transactions. You're going to be buying supplies. You want that stuff tracked. So a centralized wallet would be good for keeping track of your expenses for whatever it is you're doing. Decentralized, you want to protect, not hide. And there's a big difference in that word and the reason why people go for a decentralized. Some people do it so they can hide money. Well, let me be the first to advise or just put out there that the new banking system, Basel III and Basel IV, makes it known anytime finances move from one location to another. Now, going to a cold storage is slightly different. It's the same, but it's slightly different. You have to remember, once it goes to the blockchain, it's no longer tracked. It's impossible to track it. Okay, so once you send something in and through the blockchain, it gives it a different level of protection and anonymity. Okay, so that's why I was saying once you move your funds through the blockchain into the debit card, the wallet, the cold storage, it's pretty much protected in that sense to where it goes behind a wall that can't be seen. Now, is it 100% private? No, nothing is in the financial world until we move into the new system, the quantum financial system. That system is private. The system that we have now, the fractional banking system, fiat, is not. That's why they brought out Basel III and Basel IV to stop all of the backroom deals, the movement of billions of dollars and no one knows it. So they had to make the banks show what they're doing. Now, again, like I said, from what you have read about the quantum financial system, and I gave that as homework for you to look at, the quantum is going to make your finances private, which means no one can bother, see, or basically touch your finances. It is your business like it should have been long before. But like I said, when we sold out to uh, England, we allowed a system to come in that controls the finances and tells you what you can and can't do with your own finances. Hopefully, we all understand how that works. So once you have downloaded your wallet, the next step is to activate that wallet, and that's creating your password. If you have a bank account, you're going to connect your bank account to it. So when you want to purchase cryptos or what have you, you have a way to do so. Once that's set up, you go to the next one. Like I said, you want at least 5 different ones. 3 of them decentralized, 2 of them centralized, so that you can work in both platforms, private and non-private. All right. Next, And we're still talking about the cell phone. This is why I said this. You're going to use this like you have never used it before. I know you use your phones to text your friends and all this, Snapchats, and now you're going to be using it for financial business. So I need you to, one, protect your phone. That's with a case, that's with security, that is with Second Mind. So wherever you go, it goes, which I already know you guys do that. Some of our adults, we will stick them in the purse, leave them upstairs on the nightstand and all this, leave it in the car. You guys don't. You always have your phone with you. I know that's to be a fact because every young person I see right now got one in their face. Okay? That's everywhere, even in the car. Please don't use your phone in the car. It's the most dangerous thing you could possibly do. Seriously, because your mind is here when cars are up here. Can't do both. So if you're doing it, stop. There's only two of you, I think, that have driver's license at this moment, I think. But the rest of you, don't make that a habit. When the phone rings, it should either be in the passenger seat or whatever, out of reach. Don't answer the phone or connect it to the car. Most cars now, you can connect it to the car and you can answer it hands-free or earbuds. And I'd stay away from the earbuds too. I don't know if you've seen the latest about earbuds. If you use them, be careful because the new frequencies that are coming off of the 5G towers have a little bit of extra stuff in there. And that earbud puts it directly to your brain. Goes right through the earbud, right into your brain. Mr. Musk was talking about it. You can look that up. Just a side note. But the cell phone is next after the wallet. We want to look at cold storage devices. Cold storage devices can be put on your cell phone, namely Tangem. Tangem is done on the phone. You have the cards for security, but actually Tangem lives on your phone. So you have a cold storage bank right here if you have Tangem on the phone. All right. That's why you need security on your phone. So if you have security at home on your computers, I would extend a package to cover the phone as well. All right. They have RFID phone cases. So the case that you put your phone in is protected from RFID scanners, what you're going to see around the holidays, like now. When you get into the mall, be careful because this is when that starts. People that have these devices to scan phones or wallets, they just walk by you or they'll stand next to you in line. And the whole time they're standing next to you, they're scanning your phone and getting all the goodies out of it. Okay, so protect your phone, get the RFID protectors, phone cases. Most of them you can get by the company that gave, or the phone company that you're with, has some sort of RFID case. Look into it, make sure yours is protected. And for the gentleman, Mr. MJ, even though, if you carry a wallet, you want to make sure it's an RFID wallet. Ladies, there's an RFID purse. The whole purse is RFID. Look into these devices because everything is going digital. So the game of theft is going to increase and get more quiet. Used to be they'd stick a gun in your face or they hack into your computer or, old stuff. Now it's completely silent. The person could be reading a book. You think they're an intellectual and they're safe to be standing next to. That's just the front to make you feel comfortable so they can get close to you so they can scan your devices, your wallets, your cards. Look into RFID wallets for both men and women. Put your cards in RFID cases. They actually have a phone or a card shield that the card slides into, and then you put the shield and card into a RFID wallet and close it. Now it's protected 3 times or at least 2 times. All right. They do have RFID sleeves for cards. And then you put that inside of an RFID wallet. Now it's protected. You can find those on Amazon. Let's see. Seeing as though you can have your bank on a phone, again, they will not be able to get into it, not the bank, because Tangem, you have to have those ID cards in order to get to the bank itself. You'll find out once you get your Tangem, if you decide to get one of those, you have to take the cards that come and put them to the scanner on your phone. And once the phone sees the card, then it'll open the account. If someone scans your phone and sees, oh, Tangem, I can get their money, can't get it. You have to have the card to touch to the phone to even open the account. That's why I like Tangem, because you can't break into it. Well, at least I'll say right now. So we have to make all the necessary moves early. Okay. So RFID sleeves, RFID wallets, RFID purses. Okay, for the young ladies. So that should protect the phone itself. All right. Now let's move on to the next thing. Crypto debit cards. Now, what I've been talking about thus far is all crypto and soon to be digital currency. These devices use addresses to move things back and forth. The crypto debit card is just like all the rest of the items that we've just discussed. The difference is the crypto debit card does a few special things. And I want to go over those just so that it's crystal clear. And I'm only holding this one up is because it's the only one I have right now in front of me. But this card is no longer in use in America. So it's just a prop right now. But there are crypto debit cards that you're going to receive, like Coinbase has one, Crypto.com has one, and it's an actual plastic card just like this. Now, let's talk about the crypto debit card and how it works. The important part is knowing which one to get. And again, I can't give you that advice. You have to go look at all the crypto debit cards that are available at the moment. Okay, at the moment, Coinbase, Crypto.com, Tangem, and Ledger. Okay, all 4 of those have their own debit card, and it's a crypto debit card. How does it work? So, like I've said before, the transaction or movement is done by address, and your wallet or your crypto debit card is going to have a receive address, okay, where you send to. So you're going to need to know its receive address. It should be on everything you have. It should be, in places where you can get to it quickly so that you can add it. You can do Notepad on your cell phone or some way to keep notes. It's just a receive address. If someone gets your receive address, all they can do is send you some money. They don't want that. That's no good for them. So if they get that, it's no big deal. Not that they're going to get it because you're going to be RFID protected, right? Right. Thank you. So let's move on. The card is going to have a send and receive actually, but you're going to be more concerned about the receive address so you can send money to it. Notice I said money. Going forward, you will actually be able to say you have money. The stuff you have now is a debt instrument. There is a difference, but you haven't been taught that until you got here. The paper that's in your wallets, purses, is green. It has numbers, denominations on it, and you've been hoodwinked to think that that's money. It's not. It is a fractional piece of a debt. I'll say that again, a fractional piece of a debt. So how do we buy things with a fractional piece of debt? Simple. Fraudulently. But yet, you have people at the cash registers that will take a $1 or $20 bill and put it up to the light, or they'll take a magic marker and draw across it. All these pretentious, foolish antics to see if it's counterfeit or not. Well, sweetheart, the note is counterfeit, whether the marker works, whether you hold it up to the light, and every other thing that they do at the register. It's already counterfeit. It has zero value. So what are you passing across the counter? A debt instrument with a fake nomination on it. It's already fake. So what are you really checking for? I just get a kick out of it every time I see people do it. The foolish teachings that we do to make you think that you're passing something illegal to purchase your items when everything is illegal and fraud. Even from the bank, when you go deposit your check or cash a check, they hand you a stack of papers that say 25s, ones, and 50s and $100, all fake. So it starts there. Did you actually cash a check or did you exchange it for some fraudulent pieces of paper? See, it's in the knowledge of understanding where you stand in this mix gives you an understanding above foolishness. Stay calm, stay collected. You will have real money very shortly because it will have a value. It will have something backing it. It will have something of value backing the piece of paper, which turns it into money. We used to have money a long time ago. We're called silver certificates. Silver certificates that were the green parents of this paper that we have now. It used to be backed by a certain percentage of silver or gold. That's when it was money. Jekyll Island changed it from real money with a value to a fractional piece of a debt instrument, document, note, whatever you want to call it. So it changed hands that day on Jekyll Island. It went from real money to fake. Let's just call it what it is. It had no value at that point. They took the value out of it and gave you a promissory note. It used to say promissory note. Then they changed it to note. These are the evolutions that we've talked about. It used to say, in God we trust. They took that off. They took God out of it. They took the value out of it. They took everything out of it and left you with a piece of paper that had 0, 20, 1005, and whatever else, 20. What was backing it? Nothing. You know what was backing it? Our bullyism. The United States was the biggest bully, or is still the biggest bully in the world, next to the other big countries. When you're a bully, you tell other people what to do, what to think, what to have, what not to have. Let's look at that. So if you're the bully and you go around and tell all the other countries all the way around, you're going to hold my fractionary note, my piece of paper that has no value, and you're only going to use that so I can take advantage of your country. When you pay, or when I pay you for real goods, silver, gold, diamonds, whatever, I'm paying you in a piece of paper that has no value. You're selling me an item worth millions. So what happened right then? I'll say it again so you can see the picture. Visualize what I'm saying to you. Mr. Big USA comes to your country, and let's say that you have papaya, a very nutritious vegetable or fruit, has all types of good things in it, and can be used in several different applications. All right? You produce papaya. I'm just going to keep the number simple. Let's say one box of papaya, I buy it for $50. Now I take that same papaya, bring it to my country, have my scientists chop it up and do all sorts of things to it, like we do, distort it and change it into something else that now we sell it for $50 a bottle of it. And let's say one box makes 1,000 bottles for $100 a bottle, right? You got from me $50 for a box of something I turned into 1,000-fold. You got $50. Now, what does the $50 have in value? Nothing. I gave you a note. I gave you a promissory that you get $50 some day in the future. Now you take that same $50, you bring it into your economy, and you start using it because I told you to use it, and that's all you get to use. You don't even get to use your money no more. And all you can use is my money. Now you sell a box of papaya to China. And you ask China for US dollar. They say, we don't have US dollar, we have yuan. Well, I can't sell it to you because that's all I get to use. Well, you lose the sale. So now you got to take that same box you was going to sell over there and bring it to me for $50. See how that works? That's a bully. So when you look at the US dollar and you look at other currencies, which is going on as we speak, and I'm speaking out of due diligence and what you can look at online, you are seeing something called BRICS. BRICS. Okay? All these other countries, 209 of them, said, you know what, United States, you're full of it. I don't want your money no more. I have my own money. My country has its own money. I stopped using it because you said so. So today, Mr. US, I no longer want your paper. I no longer want your business unless you're buying it with my currency. Did you see it? The flip, you're no longer the bully no more. BRICS is spreading across the world to destroy the US dollar, to literally destroy the US dollar. And it's happening as we speak. Have you noticed how much it costs to go to the store lately? Have you noticed if you eat there, McDonald's and all that, how a simple meal is now $15, $16. Or if you go to the grocery store, a half a basket of goods, 100, 105, $200. Why is that? Because now you are using your paper to purchase things. And you need more of it because it has what? No value. So you need a whole lot of it to buy one thing. And it's going to get worse. That's why you need to know your digital products, because you're going to go into the next evolution, which is digital currency, which will be backed by the products of that country, where it will have its own standing value. And you're going to have cryptocurrencies. Not a lot of them. A lot of them are going to go away because they serve no purpose. Excuse me. So with that being said, you have to know your devices. And went off into that tangent, my apologies, but you have to know where this is all coming from and how to, protect yourself going forward. The wallet or the phone pretty much can do everything that the 4 items do. But I need you to have all 4 items so you know how to work with them. You won't always have the cell phone or whatever happens. If you need to be working with this stuff individually, then you need to know how to do it. So that was the cell phone. Pretty much everything, all 4 items can be, or all 3 other items can be done on the cell phone. So literally the phone is all 4 items, all by itself. But we're going to go, I'm just going to use this card. We're going to go, next item is the wallet. The wallet is what you're going to move resources with. Say that to yourself, move resources with. The wallet is just like your regular wallet that you use. When you open up your wallet, you put money in it, right? You put the wallet away. When you need to buy something, this is the old school. When you went to the store, you would take your wallet out, open it, and pull out what you need to pay for what you're getting, correct? That's the use of a wallet. Same use, same process, different item. We're going to talk about the wallet. So the wallet is used the same way you use the old wallet, except you're using addresses. Like I said, all of these, you're going to hear address 3 more times. You're going to send to the receive address from the resources that you are involved in, Promise Delivered, Team Royal, and all the other things that are coming. These are resources that you send to your wallet. So you need a receive address off of your wallet, right, to send to. Once you send your resources here, it's like you're putting your money in your wallet. Now, on the other side, you need a send. Notice I'm at the bottom of the card. Receive is at the top. Send is on the bottom. Now you're going to send it out to whatever you're doing. If you're going to the store, you're sending it out. If you're going to put it on to your cold storage, you're sending it out. If you're sending it to someone else, you're sending it out to their address, to their receive address. All right, so the wallet is right next to your resource. Whatever is creating the resource, you send to it. All right, the wallet. Wherever you're going to send it to, you need a receive address for the cold storage. You need a receive address for your bill that you're paying. Because like I said, everything is going digital. They're already starting to use wallets to pay your bills. They're quietly bringing it in. They don't want to do it all of a sudden because everybody be like, what? What's a wallet? How do I? They don't want to do that. They want you left behind, so you have to come to them to figure out how to use stuff that you could have learned earlier. That's what you're doing right now. So you're going to send out to either your cold storage, to your friend, to your mom, whoever. You're sending it, you need a receive address. Now, what else is the wallet good for? Holding on to certain funds. You might want to hold on to it before you send it to your crypto debit card, which does the same thing. You're going to send to it, all right, at the top, and it's going to send out when you buy something. So when you go up to the machine and go beep, it's sending out the amount needed. Okay, it's all done electronic. You don't have to ask for no addresses, or it does it all by itself. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's stay with the wallet. So the wallet receives the resources, it holds on to them, and it also sends out to other devices. Crypto debit card, bank. All right. So the wallet's very, very important. You need to protect it. RFID sleeve, RFID wallet, it's put away, or leave it at home. Remember, you can do these processes where? Right on the phone, at the comfort of your house. You can move everything to the wallet. You can move it to the debit card. You can move it to the bank, or you can put it. I didn't understand that. I wasn't talking to you. See how the things listen to what you're saying? But you could also do your bank right here on the phone. Let's go to the next one. That's the wallet. All right, so everybody should be clear on how the wallet works. Receive address, send to a receive address. Receives in, sends out. That's the wallet. Now, I'm just going to hold up the same card. In the other hand, now it's the crypto debit card. Now, the crypto debit card is your way of spending what you put on it, which is either going to be Bitcoin, it can be whatever. All right, whatever coin or cryptocurrency that you select to use on your crypto debit card, it will spend it like money. All right, so you need the receive address to send to it from the wallet, right? You send it in here. Let's say you send 10,000 on your crypto debit card or whatever the limit is. Now, that would be the same question I ask anybody else. If you got your paycheck and you got $10,000 for your work, would you walk around with $10,000 in your wallet? No, absolutely not. You're not going to do it here either. But this is protected to a certain extent. RFID sleeve in an RFID wallet. Hold on. Dropped it. So the crypto debit card is going to be your spending piece. Get the refrigerator, whatever else that you need to purchase, you can do it with this. Now, all of these things that I'm talking about are literally a month away. When does he take office? January 20, so almost 2 months away. You're going to see this as normal. You're hearing about it now, and you should be studying and getting your stuff together and start practicing. If you only need to move $20, move it and then move it back or move it. Remember, every time you move it, you're going to lose a little bit of it in fees. So you don't want to do it too much or you won't have any money. So the crypto debit card is going to be your way to go to the store. And remember me talking about, or you may not have been on that call, but banks do not work for you. A lot of people misunderstand what a bank is. And this is just my opinion, but if you look at it, you work for the bank. Because when you get a paycheck, whether it's electronic, that's digital right there. You've been in a digital world if you get direct deposit. Or you get a paycheck and you sign the back of it and take it to the bank and deposit it. Now, here's the catch, and I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity, because some of you haven't worked yet or kind of worked a little bit, but in the real world, when you get a job, you're going to either direct deposit your money, which you signed away for your company, the business that you work for, to co-control your finances. When I say co-control, is that they do a direct deposit, but you actually have to sign a piece of paper that says they can do it. And when you sign that document, you are signing away your rights to your money or said money. A lot of people don't understand that. When you direct deposit it, the bank now has control of your finances and will dictate to you how to use it, when and how much. Now, let's back up and let's listen to that one more time. When you go to work and you earn a paycheck, it's either going to come to you in electronic direct deposit to your bank or a piece of paper with the digits on it, and you sign the back. Either way, you sign the back of the check or you sign the document at work that says that they can send it to whatever bank is yours. Those two signatures sign away your rights. You no longer have control of those finances. You have put them in the hands of someone more capable. More capable? Now watch. Now that it's in their institution, they tell you when you can use it, when you have access to it, and how much of it you can use when you put it there. How is it they could tell me all this? Because you signed away your rights to it. You told them that you are incapable of handling your own money. So here, you do it for me. That's what you did. When you get into this arena and you have your resources, okay, Promise Delivered, Team Royal, well, not so much Team Royal, but definitely a Promise Delivered. It's going to work in the arena of cryptocurrency. Now, pay attention. This is the part that a lot of people have not picked up yet, even my adults. When a Promise Delivered releases the royalties to you, they are released, listen, released to you in crypto format. Now, let's back up to the very beginning of the call. I told you could do all four things on your cell phone, right? If you don't choose to purchase something on a Promise Delivered, and you say, you know what, I would like to have that royalty in my financial platform or my financial system. You have your own system. So you put in the receive address to, in my left hand, it's a wallet. You put in the receive address of your wallet. Let's just talk about fourth grade, 400. Notice I didn't say dollars. I said 400. There's a difference. You're pulling the value of 400 to your wallet. in the form of a cryptocurrency of your choice, minus the fees. That's the only thing that gets moved, or, you have to give up some fees. So let's just say $395 jumps on your wallet. Now you take that $395, in my right hand, it's a crypto debit card. You put that 300, you got 95 still on the wallet. So you got the 300 over here. Now you can go to the store and purchase something for $300. Notice it didn't go down but $5. Let's say it's $1,000. 995 is going to get on your wallet, on your crypto debit card. The second you send it, you receive it. Boom. Now you can go to the store with a debit card from, make sure I'm not showing this is a real card. A debit card from these guys, right? Put the 1,000 in the account. There's no deduction, right? Per se. Now, you put the 1,000 in the account, you take your debit card, which this is, and let's say I go to the store and I don't know, the TV is $700. Or I need to go to the ATM machine. I'm going to show you where the control is, because you could actually buy the TV with your debit card if you have it in the account, if you have it. But let's talk about an ATM machine where the other part of control comes in. Let's say I want $700 cash to buy my TV because of tax reasons or whatever. Let's just say I want $700. You take this card and go to the ATM machine, stick it in, type the numbers, $700, which is $200 over your minimum or your maximum withdrawal limit. What's the ATM machine going to say? Unable to complete transaction. Please see a teller. So you got to go to the bank, right? You go in the bank and you say, well, I tried to get $700 out of my $700 cash to go to the store with, and I wanted to use cash. And I put it in and it said, unable to process transaction. Oh, that's Mr. Lewis, because you have a limit on your card. A limit. So what's this limit? $500. And I'm telling you this because I experienced it. This is not some fable or some story. This is what happened to me. That's why I said this calls of my own opinion. So I then asked, well, how do I get the 700? Oh, you have to request an increase to your withdrawal limit. Request an increase to my withdrawal limit. There's three things there. You have to listen. You have to request. I have to ask permission to use my own money. For an increase to what? $700? $1,000? What? What the bank allows is what I was told. To what the bank allows. Well, what are these increased limits, or what are the amounts? I need $700 cash. What would I have to do to be able to pull that out of an ATM machine? It has to be approved. You have to request it, and we would move it to $1,000. I said, okay, well, let's go ahead and do that. Well, you have to make an appointment. I thought I was. I'm talking to you. You have to make an appointment with a banker. What? I need to go to the store today. Well, you have to make an appointment. My point here is this. I went through all of that to get $700, which I had to make. I had to go into the bank. I had to go to the teller and grovel and ask, can I use my own money? And then she says, no, you have to make an appointment and grovel to someone else, and they make a decision whether or not it's increased or not. They have control twice. I had to come in, that's number one. Two, I had to make an appointment with another banker to ask permission to use my money. Get out of town, thank you. On the crypto side of stories, and this is what I want you to catch. I made, on the left hand, it's a wallet. I made my resources, which was $3,000. I put it on to my wallet. I said, oh, I need to go get that TV. I'm either using a TV or refrigerator. I don't know why. I need to send $2,000 to my right hand is the crypto debit card. 2,000 into my crypto debit card, right? And now I have 2,000 on my card. Within milliseconds, I did both transactions. One, I pulled it down into my wallet, and then I sent it out to my crypto debit card. Into my card, $2,000. I can go shopping. Who did I have to ask for that? No one. What did I have to stick my crypto debit card into a machine to say, can I have $700? No, I did not. Did I have to beg and grovel to two people that don't know me about my finances? No, I did not. But yet, at the end of 2 minutes, I have $2,000 on my card to go shopping with. 2 minutes, not two people, in a full day and a half of embarrassment to me. Why I got to beg to you to ask my money that I put in your bank. You're insane. So 2,000 is now on my card. I can do what now? I can go to the store. Now, when I get to the store, and I'm going to teach you guys the same thing I'm teaching adults. When I get to the store, I'm not going to go up to the the dealer and say, I want that TV right there. And they carry it to the counter and they add all these extra things that you don't see. Insurance, this stuff that's kind of built into the price that you don't know about. You're not going to do that. You're not going to shop like that from this day forward. When you go shopping, and please write this down, when you go shopping, you are going to get what's known as a purchase order. Purchase order. That's your first homework piece. Purchase order. What is it? Even though I'm getting ready to tell you, but I want you to still look it up. A purchase order is a document with a letterhead on it, the name of the company that you're buying something from. Their name, their address, phone number, everything. That's called a letterhead. On this document is going to have that information. It's also going to have what it is you're buying. Let's say my favorite, the refrigerator. It's going to give the name of the refrigerator, what series it is, all of that pertinent information. It's going to show what it has, the features and all that. It'll all be written out, what it can do and can't do. It's going to have the taxes, how much it would be if you were buying it. It's a purchase order. So they have to put everything on it that would make it yours. And a lot of times that fluff that they add in between the counter and the display, from the display to the counter, gets added in without your knowledge. And you just pay whatever they bring up. With a purchase order, they have to show it in detail. What this costs, what that costs, the taxes, delivery, da. But if you are doing a purchase order, there's no delivery. They can't put it on there. They can't. But when you walk up to the register from the display, they can put delivery fees. They're charging you what they had to pay to get it in the store, not that you're delivering it to your house. Bet you didn't know that, did you? They can't put that on that purchase order because it doesn't exist. And if you see it on there, go somewhere else. They can't charge you for what it costs to get it to the store. That's their fee. That's what they have to pay, not you. That's the price of doing business. Just like this 149 that seems to be an issue. It's the price of doing business. You have to pay it if you want to be in business. So on that purchase order is going to have a display of, or the whole thing all written out, and you'll see an amount at the bottom. At the bottom of that document is what that refrigerator costs for you. You're going to check it over and make sure that they didn't add in any extra fees. And when you get the purchase order, because they're going to hand it to you, look it over. Don't just take it and walk out the door and think that, they didn't stick it on there. Look at it. That's why you did it, so you can see what they're charging you for that refrigerator. If you see delivery fee, hand it back to them and say, you can remove the delivery fee. It's already here. You're not delivering it to me. I'm going to pick it up. There is no delivery fee. Remove that, please. If they give you a problem or an issue about removing it, leave the store. Shop somewhere else where they respect your knowledge of how to shop. See, this is another thing that I wasn't taught as a young man. I just went to the store and just paid for stuff, paid for stuff, paid for stuff. Some of us do it right now. You go to the store, you won't even think about it. Just put it in the cart and go to the counter and pay for it. I got the money. But did you have to spend that much? Had you have taken a few minutes to get a purchase order for that same item to see what they're charging you? You have to protect your finances. So it's not just an RFID, it's also up here in the process of how you buy things the proper way. So now that you have your purchase order, you walk out the store, go to the car, listen to a couple songs, get out of the car, go back in the store. Go up to the customer service, and now you're going to a different register. You go up to the customer service of that store. You're gonna hand them the purchase order, and you're gonna say, I want to satisfy that purchase order for that item. They're gonna ring it up, and you're gonna take your crypto debit card. Do you have to say, well, I'm using Bitcoin, can I buy that with Bitcoin? No, you are not. You're not going to do that. Your finances are your business, period. It's private. You only disclose that with your tax person, your CPA, the person who's handling, funds with you. They have to know what you're spending, or they'll advise on how to spend it. That's the part of doing due diligence and getting people with license to do it. But you always put them under paper too. Look, you're going to handle my funds, but I'm also going to bond you for 1.5 million. That means if they take $1 out of your finances to do something ignorant, they're on the hook for 1.5 million. That's called putting paper on your people so that it keeps them honest. All they got to do is what they're asked to do, what they've went to school for to do. If they went to school for an accountant, do the accountant's work, not account the money and then start shaving off the top where I won't notice. Who's to say I don't have an accounting degree? I just want to see if you'll be honest. But if you put that paper on them, bond them to their job, they have no other choice but to be honest and leave your money alone. Or go to jail or catch that fine. They don't want either one. They have to know you're serious about your finances, basically. So when you take that purchase order to the customer service desk, they have a register, right? So you hand them the purchase order. You say, I'd like to satisfy this purchase order. It's what you say that lets them know you know what's going on. Satisfy the purchase order, which means I'm going to buy this at that price that's stated on that document with your letterhead on it. A lot of them won't know that part of it because they don't know contractual law. Neither do I, but I know how to buy things. My opinion. When you tell them that, they're going to ring it up and you're going to take your crypto debit card. It's going to come on the thing over there. You're going to put it up there because it's going to have it's going to have the chip or the uh, NFT, near field transmitter. That's that echo looking thing. And you're going to go beep. You're going to put your card back in its sleeve and back in the wallet and put it in your pocket or in your purse. You're going to put your PIN number, DDD, they'll do all that stuff. It may come up, do you want insurance? Take the insurance. That's why you're buying a new one, because you didn't have insurance on the other one. It's okay. You got it. It'll take what's at the end anyway. Now, of course, that won't be on the purchase order, or you can even ask them to add that. Give me a year's worth of insurance on that refrigerator and include it in that purchase order so you don't have to be hassled at the counter. It's already in there, right? So when you go beep, it's paid for. They wheel it out front or out back or whatever, you bring your truck around and you go home. Just for future knowledge, never, and I share this because a lot of people don't know it, never lay a refrigerator down. Like if you get somebody with a truck to come get it and they bring it out to the car, you'll notice it's going to be standing upright all the time. Even in the displays, they're standing up. There's fluids, oils, and things inside of that motor. If you lay it down, they mix, or you get air gaps, which then doesn't allow it to fully do its job until it works the air back out of the system. My public service notice to you, never lay a refrigerator down. Leave it standing up. That's the way it's built. That's the way they put them together. And that's the way they stand anywhere they're in storage, standing up. Just a public service notice. All right. So that was the crypto debit card. The last thing this morning, excuse me. The last thing is the bank. Now, just like the conversation with the ATM card, going in and asking, groveling, and all that foolishness because you work for the bank and they tell you what to do with your money. Now you get to turn the table. Let's talk about the cold storage, which we affectionately call My Bank. My Bank has, let me just do the same thing like I did already, a receive address up top. So you're going to send things from the crypto debit card. You're going to send things from the wallet. You're going to send things from the back office to the address to this bank. It goes in. Now, if you have to bring it out, it's going to come out the bottom just like anything else. It's going to go to the receive. But for the most part, you're sending to it. Right? Now, here's the difference in that bank and the bank down the street. Same difference. When you send money to the bank down the street, you sign it over for them to manage, for them to tell you when, where, how much, and how to use what you put in there. And a lot of times it's not to your benefit, it's to theirs. Or they put you on a credit card with this incredibly high interest rate. So they make as much money off of you buying something on time as they can. And they call it the price of owning a credit card with our institution. Again, you work for them. They have control of your finances. They tell you how much you can use, and they also tell you how much you're going to pay them to use your own money. All right? They're open from 9 to 5 every day. Anything after 5 o'clock, you can go fly a kite. You're not going to do business. You're not going to purchase anything. You're not going to talk to anybody. You could call the customer service on the card, but they really can't do anything. Ask you a bunch of ignorant questions, right? They're not open on the holidays. Let's say you work like I do, 9 to 6, 6 to 6 every day. When do I get to go to the bank? Can't do it while I'm at work. I'm full of diesel oil. Or I'm driving a big truck. I can't get in the parking lot. I have to wait till I get off. When I get off, the bank is closed. I can't do business. Right? Saturday, I have to get up super early because they close at 12 o'clock now. This is your day off when you have time to do things, and they close early. That's on purpose. Some banks, not all banks. Some banks will stay open. I think TFC, there's a couple of them that stay open even on Sunday. So it's not for all banks, but for for the majority of 12 o'clock on a Saturday, banking is done outside of that $500 limit on your debit card. Anything over 500, you're not going to do it because you don't have the ability to do so. They have control over that. Now, enough of that. You get that. You understand that. Let's move on to this guy right here. Now, number one, I own it. It's in my hands, right? I can touch it. I can open the box and I can see it, right? It's in my hands. So now I get my bank, which you get from the company that creates them. Don't buy it anywhere else but there. You get it. You set it up. You go through all the steps. It explains itself how to do it. There's a video on YouTube that will explain any wallet that you or any bank that you purchase, how to set it up. Remember I said it's a college. Go set it up. You have your receive address. You got all your numbers put away. And to reiterate, when you get these devices, they all have a seed code, or they don't. If they do, this is what you're putting in the ground. Okay? Not money. So if anyone thought that I was saying put money in the ground, you weren't listening. I said put the seeds to these things somewhere that they're protected. All right? I had a telephone call that told me that I was telling you guys to put money in the ground. Literally, because they didn't listen to the full video. They just heard me say, put it in the ground. All right, anyway, you have set it up, you put it together, you have it, you own it. Now it's time to use it. Let's go all the way back to the resources. All right, promise delivered. The other two is coming from a promise delivered, not Team Royal yet because they don't have crypto, but they will have by January 20 a digital currency, because we will all have digital currency. A digital currency can be held on your bank. Just can't do it yet because it's not available. But when it is, you can put that over here too. Right now it's cryptocurrencies. In the very short, near future, cryptocurrency, NFTs, and digital currency. Why do you think the banks right now are changing their look, changing their acceptance to cryptocurrency? They're starting to ask. I got my email the other day. I should have kept it. I think I still have it. That these guys here, these guys, PNC, offered me a wallet. Why are you offering me a wallet? Because they know we're going crypto. We're going digital. They already know it, but we don't see it. We just see, oh, they changed the bank. That's nice. Oh, there's not that many tailors. I wonder why. You get an email, oh, we'd like to offer you wealth management, and you can pay for your resources and things with our new wallet. You think I'm going to give you more control over me? No, babies. You've lost that. I have my own. Thank you. So let's finish up the bank. You have your bank, you got it all set up, you're already using it, you know the address, how to send resources to it. 3 o'clock in the morning, you hear this bang, right? The air conditioner went up, or the heating thing outside go boom. 3 o'clock in the morning. You need $10,000 in the morning to replace it. It's Saturday morning. You go to the bank. I need 10,000 to pay for my air conditioning unit. That these guys are coming at 1 o'clock. So you go to the bank and tell them you need 10,000. They're going to tell you you're going to have to make an appointment. But I have 50,000 in the account. You have to make an appointment. The guys will be there in the morning. You have to make an appointment. Okay, when's the earliest appointment? Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Tuesday at 3 o'clock p.m. when the guys will be there in an hour repairing the heater. It's 30 degrees outside. I can't go until Tuesday when you decide you want to sit down and give me my own money. Thank you, but no thank you. You go to your bank that has $70,000, $80,000 on it. Hopefully the crypto debit card that you selected has a daily or weekly deposit limit of $50,000. I think that's crypto.com. If I'm not mistaken, it's 50,000. You can put on there at one time. Go there, take 40 off of here, put it on your card. The guys come up, they fix the thing, and 9 times out of 10, what's going to be happening is these guys are going to start carrying payment devices. Looks like a cell phone, right? They put in the bill, Mr. Lewis, it's 11,412. You say, okay, here, beep, paid for. They put up their tools, clean up, you turn the heat on. What's the difference in those two scenarios? Simple. One, you went to your bank, told them what's going on, and they told you no. Second scenario, you went to your bank, you sent in 40, even though you didn't need that much, it was 12, whatever. You just sent 40. Let's say you're going shopping afterwards. Sent the 40 over to your card. You're going to send out the 11.5, what it costs to fix it, on the device that he has in his hand. Beep, paid for. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. You've done all the transactions yourself with your bank that you own, with your crypto debit card that has the reach and ability to pay for whatever you need to pay for. You didn't have to leave the house. That's the power of being your own bank owner. And that's what you will be from this period forward. All of you are going to have your own bank. You're the banker. You set the fees. You set the amounts and abilities that you get to shop with. So who do you have to ask between these two items when both of them are in your hand? Nobody. See the difference? Now you see why they're so afraid? Because in the future, the very near future, you won't need them. Why? Why do you have to go there? They've never treated you right. They've always made you work for them. They've always controlled your finances and told you when, where, how much you can use, and deny you at every given opportunity. You don't need that. You can do it yourself with your crypto debit card and your bank, that where you're going to start depositing and you keep ownership of it. You're not relinquishing your rights to your financial foundation. These guys get in between your financial foundation because then they make your deposits their foundation. You see it now? When you deposit into one of these guys, they take it and put it on their bottom line, not yours. They charge you to hold it. They charge you to use it. They tell you how much, when, and where you can use it. They also always say no. They'll say no before they'll say yes without you filling out all these documents and proving who you are, your social. They know all that stuff anyway. You gave it to them when you opened the account. They know who you are. But yet you have to fill out application after application after application. Anytime you want to use your money. I'll let that sink in. I know I gave a lot today, but I had to do it. Any questions? Any questions?
Mr. Lewis, I have a question. Let me find it. I wrote it down. So if you have a credit card and you pay it off every month, do they still get to charge you interest?
Mm-hmm. The interest is in every payment you make. And 9 times out of 10, the payment that you're making is all interest. That's why they stretch it out so far.
Montavo, interject. Who was just speaking?
That was MJ.
Okay, MJ, you said if you pay it off every month. Did you mean if you pay it off by or before the due date, the entire amount? Or you're making monthly payments? Because if you pay the whole thing off every month, am I correct, Montavo? There's no interest?
No, there's still either you pay the whole thing or payments. Either way, you're going to pay them for allowing you the credit piece that you took out for. So the both of you are, well, your answer is correct. And I'm just helping him understand that if he's making let's say we're making a payment on a mini bike. That mini bike was $2,000. You're making a payment on time every month, 3 days early, from my point of view. You're making that payment. A large portion of that payment is interest only. You might get $12 or $15 towards the principal of that 2,000. The rest of that payment could be 104, whatever they decide, is all interest. Now, to agree with Mr. Allen, if you take that $2,000 loan or whatever it was on that mini bike and you pay it off, right? They've already built into your particular agreement an interest amount for that $2,000. It's inside of that payment or that whole amount. So even if you pay it all the way off, they're still making money on the transaction because they allowed you to use their system to buy that mini bike.
Okay. Because I thought, let's say my payment is due on the 20th every month. And let's say on the first, I buy $500 worth of something, $500 even on the first. And I pay it off on the 15th. I thought in a situation like that, I'm only paying the $500. That's the kind of scenario I'm thinking about.
Yeah, there's a daily interest, even per day. So that 500, would have 15 days of interest in it.
Oh, all right. So I'll be paying more than 500.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Lewis, may I say something, please?
Yes.
So, there's no interest if you paid off before the due date, before the billing cycle ends.
Hmm.
If you have American Express, buy something for $500 and you pay, and the cycle ends on the 15th of the month. If you pay that off by the 13th, there's zero interest rule. So there's no,
Right.
if you paid off. Now, if you pay in payments, that's how they make their money.
Hmm.
I told you weeks ago when we were talking the way you're teaching these kids. When I was 22, I had a ton of credit cards, and I thought, wow, these people must love me because I owe $5 and the payment is only $50. I thought they were helping me.
Mm.
Really, they were making money.
Yep.
Because now I'm paying $50, but the balance is 45,000, not 45,000, $4,500 or $450 or whatever it was.
Hmm.
And I'm paying interest on that big amount.
Hmm.
The interest of that will be like $90. So I pay
Hmm.
50, but they charge me 90.
Hmm.
Keeps you like a hamster on a wheel. But if
Yes.
you pay it off, there's no interest.
So that's perfect. I'm glad both of you came in on that. So that's the part of due diligence, and that's the part of reading the contract when you sit down in front of this banker. Now, legally, they have to tell you what Jermaine just said, that you're going to be paying this, this, and that, but just keep in mind that your interest payment for this or that is this. And a lot of times they don't talk it, they'll point at it in the document and say, you need to read that. If you, like I said before, when we open up a checking account, how many of you actually read the checking account contract? I could almost confidently say that 95% of people, your parents, your aunts, uncles, even you, when you got your accounts, because I know all of you have your own accounts, you didn't read it. Nobody does, except a contractual, intelligent person. Anytime a contract is put in front of them, they're going to go into their analytic, everything turns on because that's what they're into. Most of us are not that person. We just get the contract, sign it, and say, oh, now I got a new car or a mini bike or, fine jewelry, whatever it is, you put it on charge for. So, MJ, to answer your question properly, and thank you both for bringing that up, you first have to look at the contract that you're going into to find out what the minimum payment is, what the payoff requirements are, and what the benefits of early payment or completion of the contract, or what is the extended life of the contract and how much interest is paid on top of what you got. So again, thank you both for inputting and keeping me tight because I don't claim to know everything. It's all about reading. You have to read any contract that's put in front of you. 9 times out of 10, when you're going for credit or a credit card, it's online. So are you going to sit there and read 23 pages of documents, or are you just going to click submit? They do it on purpose. They know you're not going to read that. They know you need the credit card or whatever it is you're trying to get. So you just say, click here, agree to terms and agreement. You're agreeing and didn't read it. So that's how a lot of us get caught up because lack of knowledge. And hopefully this conversation and community is going to help all of you as young adults be really strong financially because you'll have a lot of the answers that we had to search or live through to bring forward to you.
Montavo, I just like to interject. They know the great majority of people put out these cards or any kind of loan, making monthly payments. So they know they're going to be making interest. There's very few people who are going to pay it off. I know a rich guy. I mean, he's got, I don't know, over 100 credit cards. He's got so much money. All he does is buy things with the credit card and pay it off before the due date. And what he said, he never pays interest. It's only after that due date, or I think it's another date, Jermaine said, as long as you pay it off before then, you pay no interest. They also say it's better to use a credit card than a debit card because the credit card is not guaranteed. What am I thinking about? It's not secured. What is the word I want? Your money is protected. Whatever. If you use a credit card, it's a lot of reasons why. But what I'm saying is use a credit card. Go do what you said. Get the purchase order, pay for it with a credit card. We have regular fiat. That's not that there's no money. That's just money they're supposedly loaning to you, which is really money in thin air. Pay off a $5,000 worth of credit card, and then take your crypto debit card and pay the credit card off before the due date. You know, that's another way you can do it. But yeah, as long as you do it, you're purchasing something and pay it for its due, you're fine. And you're building up your credit. That's the other reason why he got so many cards. He keeps paying them off and paying them off, and they just kept giving him cards and cards and cards from, all over the country. That's my spiel.
Okay.
Oh,
Again,
let me ask you before I forget. I heard you say Chime will be a wallet. You're saying Chime will actually be a crypto wallet, just like Trust and Exodus?
a lot of those payment processors are going to have a crypto side. They're all going to have a wallet capability because that's what everybody's going to be using. Like I said, just wait. You're going to see a whole lot of companies with wallets pop up, especially now that they've been elected. Now those companies are going to go full bore. You'll see them.
Got it.
All right. So again, thank you for both of your inputs. Like I said, this is a community. Any other questions?
Mr. Lewis, I have a question. Well,
Yes.
more like three.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the first question is, I have wallets, but it's under my mom's name. Do you know any wallets that don't ask for an ID?
No, not really that I know of. I'm sure they exist or they will exist shortly, but at the present moment, they're going to want ID because you have to ID yourself. You're talking finances, and the easiest way to launder is to have access to finances unID'd. So it's going to be difficult until you get of age.
Okay. Thank you. My second question is, what is the difference between a digital currency and a cryptocurrency?
Good question. I was really waiting for that, but thank you for asking. Digital currency is a representation of the paper of a country. So I don't have my props, I don't have my wallet. I would be holding up a dollar bill. Right now, the US has USDT and USDC. Those are cryptocurrencies in the representation of the paper. A digital currency is different because it is actually the paper or the $1 that I would be holding up. It would be an actual dollar in whatever they're going to call it. It won't be USDT and USDC. That's a cryptocurrency representation. A digital currency is actually going to say US dollar, let's just call it that, US dollar, $1, or whatever it is. It might be $1.40. It'll have the value next to $1. But that'll be the digital representation of the paper. That's what you guys are going to be using. But that paper is going to be for grandma, grandpa, that doesn't have a smartphone, that don't come to calls like this, that doesn't, have the understanding of the technology. They still have to have something for them. and that's going to be the paper version. I think it's going to be called the Treasury Note or something. We'll have to wait and see when they bring it out. But the difference is one is a coin, one is the paper, but they both exist in the digital format on the blockchain. And they can be accessed through the phone, through a wallet, through your bank. It'll have its own section that will say that you have 2,000 US dollar digital currency versus you have $2,000 worth of XRP. See the difference?
Yes.
That would be the difference between the two.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lewis. I
Absolutely.
have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you give homework?
Not yet.
Okay.
One of them is, what was it? I said it earlier.
It was a purchase order, Mr. Lewis.
Purchase order. Thank you so much. So your
Okay.
first word is purchase order. Your second piece is going to be interest and non-interest payments. Interest and non-interest payments, I guess, on a loan. Just so you could see it, or a credit card. Just put loan or credit card. The last or the next one, let's say I want to go with long-term saving. Long-term savings. Term means years. Long-term. What's the best amount for long-term savings? And you'll be surprised to know what that number is. The long-term, let's say the youngest here is 11. Let's go 10 years, because that'll make him 21. Long-term savings for 10 years. What's the best amount? 10 years. That should be enough. I don't want to bog you down too much. I didn't write none of that down.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Now I'm going to lean on you. Long-term savings, 10 years, amount. What was the other one?
Interest or non-interest payment? And you said loan, do it loan or credit card?
Loan, credit card. Okay. What was the other one?
Purchase order?
And the final one. Should be 4. Long-term.
I think you only gave me 3.
Okay, so we need one more. We usually do 4. So the fourth one would be what's the difference between your bank and a financial institution or their bank? Okay, so the fourth thing is long-term savings for 10 years. What's the amount, the best amount for that? Interest payments on either a loan or a credit card. What is a purchase order? And then the fourth one is what's the difference between your bank and PNC or Chase or whoever it is you use. All right.
Mr. Liz. Okay, thank you, Mr. Liz.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
What about non-interest payment
Right. So
on credit card loans? You still want us to give that definition?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Because some exist, a lot don't. How you get around that is like what Alan was saying and Mom was saying is if you pay it clean off. But if you had it to do it that way, why get the loan? That's my thinking. But if you want to build credit, that's how you do it. But I don't want any of you to think that you have to build credit because my objective and my thought process here is to help you create your own credit score. How do you do that? You don't need a bank. You don't have to ask permission to use someone else's money when you have it yourself. You're in control of that. So that credit score or so-called credit score goes out the window because it's not fair to start with. Never has been, and in my opinion, never will be. I create my own credit by one, having my own business, having a solid foundation financially, and doing my own banking. If I have my own bank, I don't need theirs. If I have my own format with my bank and my debit card, I don't need a credit card. I can go buy whatever I want, when I want, at my discretion. And I don't have to get credit. I don't have to make initial payments. I don't have to make interest payments or non-interest payments. I just go buy it. If you have a financial foundation. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all go unless there's another question. Any other questions?
Mr. Lewis,
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to tell you something just to make sure you're informed. It's not really a question, but
Statements?
so I just wanted to let you know that I have 3 wallets: Exodus, Coinbase, and Crypto.com. And I also opened a Chase checking and savings account. I now have Zelle, and I also have my own Cash App.
Can I borrow $50?
I want to be
Good.
your friend. This is Anselma.
Can I borrow $500?
I got a card coming for each of them.
All right, perfect. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Mr. Liz,
Oh,
apologies.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
I have a question for you. President-elect Trump, I heard that he is completely against BRICS and he's planning to shut that down. What are your thoughts on that?
The only way that would happen is if he revalues. And that would stop BRICS because the revaluation, and which is an awesome question. Let's get comfortable. Hold on. Give me a second. I get you some water.
Wow, I'm about to learn something. I didn't think it was possible for him to shut BRICS down.
It's not.
That's what I thought. How in the world is that possible? They're leaving us and totally going with their own system.
He got immunity. He can do anything he wants to. The judges gave him immunity to do anything. He can kill you if he wants to.
No, this is international. Judges have no jurisdiction over other countries. Russia's already told us we're not using your dollars anymore. That's why they killed Gaddafi because he was doing it, doing his own coin. But he let him go in there and try to do something to Putin or Xi Jinping. Come on. Ain't no way in the world. Gaddafi was a little guy. Clinton's did that to him, but BRICS is just too big. You got the 5 nations, and now you got probably over 80 of them that joined them. But I want to hear what he's got to say because I don't think it's possible.
He can try. He'll try a lot of things.
But like it's just impossible. How they can't force them to use our dollars if they now have their own system. You know, we had this since what, 73, when what is it, Nixon's, what's that guy's name? I think he lived to be 100, just died a little while ago.
Kissinger.
When he brokered that deal with Saudi Arabia to and created the petrodollar, we said we're going to protect you, provide you weapons as long as you buy our oil with dollars. And then Saudi Arabia, being the biggest oil producer at that time, got the other handful of Arab nations over there to join as well. And that's why we've been protecting them. And that's why our dollar became so powerful. But now, the parties are, I mean, it's like, Mike Tyson is getting older, and somebody asked, well, what do you want your legacy to be? Oh, I'm getting old. I mean, once I'm gone, I'm gone. I'll just be dust. His time was over. It's going to be over.
Okay. All right. So
okay.
Let me just touch on this. Like I said, sit back and, for lack of better words, take in the information. So we're talking about control. We're talking about being sovereign. Now, number one, BRICS was designed to stop us from controlling the rest of the world, like I just said, being the big bully. And our system is obsolete. It is no longer valid. It is no longer established. It has no more worth. It has zero value, and they no longer want to use it. Now, what does that mean in retrospect to all these countries that we have taken advantage of ever since Jekyll Island happened? Now, you have to back up, and I know you don't know a whole lot without doing the history of money, but it's real simple. It's all on YouTube. Go to and watch the Jekyll Island video. What happened during that? Why did it happen? And what did it cause for the rest of the world? The rest of the world, not just here. It started here, or it started somewhere else, and they brought it here. See, at one time, the United States was the most powerful country in all respects. It had a booming population. It had manufacturing. It had all sorts of things. It was a melting pot. That's why you have different races in this country. Everybody came here and they brought knowledge on how to produce things. So we became a country that produced mass amounts of different items that were sold all around the world, right? Now, you take I don't know, just for argument's sake, a blender that was created here in Black & Decker. It's no longer here. That blender is now being sold around the world, right? But you take that same blender and you go to Uganda, right? Now they have whatever they had as far as their currency, but they now cannot buy that blender because the blender is sold in US dollar. So we say, oh, Uganda, here, let me do this. Shut your money off, turn it off, and I'll give you money to buy my blender. Pay attention to that part. Turn your money off in Uganda. and use the United States dollar. One, they now have to figure out how to use it. Two, it's not beneficial to them. Because from one Ugandan to another, they may be selling a goat, and they've always used whatever they use. Now they have to use a US dollar. It creates confusion in Uganda. But the United States made a sale with our own money, sold them something, shut their money off, and now all they can do is business with us because that's the money that they have. What if they want to do it with China? What if they want to do business with, I don't know, Nigeria? If that country is not holding our US dollar, they cannot do transactions. They cannot do business, right? Now, let's look at this whole BRICS thing and why it exists in the first place. Let's start back with Uganda, Nigeria, South Africa, China, and all the other countries. We said you only use our money. You can't do business with no one else because you're using our money. So you starve to death. I don't care as long as you're using my money. How do you think that country felt when they had their own money to start with? Every country out there had some type of financial paper, coin, whatever. And they had to put it off to the side to use ours. And ours only. Is that fair? Now, BRICS came up to force a point, and I'm going to get to that. BRICS came up and said, okay, Uganda, you have the CD, right? Yes. What value do you have in your country? We create this, that, and the other, and in the ground we have gold, we have silver, we have diamond, we have this. So now, okay, Mr. Uganda, your country is now worth $3 billion. Put that behind your CD and turn your money back on. Get rid of the US dollar. That's what they did. Send it back. Send it back. Now, when we want to do business with Uganda, we're told we have to use CD, not US dollar. It's no longer accepted here. We only accept our country's money. So our people prosper, not yours. Okay, that's the first point. Second point, now Uganda not only has its own money turned back on because they told us to go fly a kite, you're not going to tell us what we can do with our own country. They now have a flourishing economy because they have product that they can sell for Ugandan dollar, we'll just call it that, and make prosperous moves for their country and their people. They're no longer told that they have to use someone else's money to do business. And now their worth has skyrocketed. And that's 200 different countries have said, I'm done with the US dollar. We have our own money. We have our own products. We have our own value. And that's what we're standing on. Go fly a kite, Mr. US. All right? Now you see where that's coming from. It gives the countries that we have stepped on and bullied and told that you have to use our money. It gives them the ability to say, no, sir, we have our own value, we have our own paper, and we have our own country. You tend to your own. We'll tend to ours in our own money. That's what BRICS represents. Now, because that has happened in all these different countries, and there's 200 of them on the list, and they're joining every month as they fill out the requirements to become a BRICS participant. Do you have an asset in the ground? Do you have a product that you produce? Did you at one time have your own money that the US told you can no longer use? Do you have this? Do you have that? All right. Once they meet all those requirements, they're accepted. and their value goes to what that country is producing or can produce. Okay? So now they have their own value, they have their own money, and they do business for their people in their country, which they have prospered because they got rid of that bully paper. Now, fast forward all the way up to Mr. Trump. Now, he has an option. He has two options, really. Actually, one. His option is to agree to the BRICS ideology and become a producer of something. We have to now search for something to produce as a country versus having all that we did have. We had a lot of stuff that we produced in the US. But because of greed and the usage of people, two things that a lot of people don't understand. You've heard of sweatshops, you've heard of child labor, all that stuff is real that you didn't know about. It's absolutely real. There are children 6, 7 years old making gym shoes that they sell for $200. They give them $3 a month to eat, survive, and live off. Because we control their whole outlay. Our money, our manufacturing, all of our manufacturers went to these cheap labor so that they could make massive income, massive profits. BRICS broke all that up. Why do you think when you go to the grocery store, now it's almost $200 to get a basket of food? Because your money is worthless. It has no value. It has nothing backing it. But all that bullyism that used to be, BRICS broke that up. Now, Mr. Trump has a decision to make. Either do the same thing as BRICS and produce a product, which we have the most oil in the world under the ground, which would give us a huge push to what's backing our dollar. He can implement that, or watch this. This is the massive one, and this is what I'm waiting on, and thousands of other people are waiting on. He can revalue. He can release the RV. The RV is the reevaluation of all the countries around the world. Every one of them. What does that mean? That means that now the currency that one country or whatever holds goes to a new value. And it still is under the BRICS ideology. That's why I said that first. What it does is say, okay, let's go with the US dollar. All right, so now the US has to put something behind that paper. What's it going to put behind that paper? We have all the oil. The reason why we have so much oil is because we were using everybody else's, because we was forcing them to use the US dollar. We were taking oil for them for a worthless piece of paper. So we made over like a fat rat for years. Billions of dollars in resources from that country for a worthless piece of paper. Now, RV hits. Boom. Now everybody's money, watch this, is worth what their country is worth. I'll say that again. Now everybody's paper, not the US dollar, whatever the paper is in that country, wherever it's at, Ugandan, China, all the countries have a paper. It now will hold the value of that country, resources, what's backing it, what's in the ground, what do they produce, what do they have, bananas, and now their paper will hold the value of what is in that country. And this is what we're waiting on. This is the choice I'm hoping he makes. And that's how he would stop BRICS, because he would create a reevaluation of all currency. BRICS was put forth to force that movement. That's his one choice. He doesn't have any other choice. If you look at what these idiots that were in control for 4.5 years have done to our finances, to our economy, to our country, to the US dollar, if you look at what they have done with it and what they're leaving in his wake, he has to walk through a wave of crap and total disrespect for our country and its money. Total disrespect. So he only has one choice: reevaluate everything. Just throw away all the debt, all the stuff that was connected to this paper, all the ignorance, all the fraud that was behind this paper that we have in our pocket right now. That's why I laugh every time I see somebody take a magic marker and go across it or hold it up in the light like you're going to see something different. It's still worthless. So his one option, now pay attention, his one option is to reevaluate all the currencies around the world and give each country the ability to say, my paper is worth this because that's what I have in my country. That's what I'm producing to sell to the world. That's what my country's paper is worth because I'm putting all of my resources in my country behind my paper. That's a reevaluation. And I assure you, a smart businessman like himself sees that as well. These other idiots, because they knew they could not beat him, put as much trash in the way as possible to see him fail. Now, if he tries to rebuild the US dollar from the trash that they have built, it won't happen. He'll fall on his face and it'll have been all for nothing. But one thing I can tell you about Mr. Trump, he's a businessman. Why do you think he's already talking to Iraq? Why do you think he's already talking to Putin? Why do you think he's already having these conversations and he's not even in office yet? Because he knows what he has to do. He has to reevaluate RV. When that happens, life changes in ways that you never thought before possible. And a lot of the conversation we had this morning will go away because it's built off of real, raw assets versus a fake fraction of a dollar. That this back deal that was made on Jekyll Island, please watch that video. You can even put Jekyll Island in YouTube and it'll still bring up the video. That's when we lost our country. That's when we lost our value. Because of greed, capitalism, and the process called slavery. That all happened on that island. Awesome question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lewis.
My top.
Yes, ma'am.
That's happened long before Jekyll Island. This stuff is going on now. And I'm not trying to do anything to disprove you, but Biden got the best economy that anybody has had. And the man that you talking about, he raised the debt of $8,000. He had to go and clean it up. And so if you go back and look, he got the best economy. But the orange man gonna try to claim it. That's all I got to say. This happened. If you go read the Clean Africa Plan and see what they have planned for us. It's called the Clean Africa Plan. If you don't have it, I can send it to you.
Yep. So again, that will be along the lines of political dissertation, but you have to look at the facts. let's not look at political. Let's look at the facts. Which president out of all the presidents that we have ever had put money back in your pocket?
And he put it back in the rich people's pocket, not us, rich people.
No, that's not true. Not true.
We just go listen. You're gonna see what happened. That's all I'm saying. You're gonna see what happened.
Okay.
Okay. That's all.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Montalvo, I just want to make sure I'm understanding. I believe the question was, can Trump stop BRICS? Now, I understand your explanation, but that's not stopping BRICS, is it? He's
Yes,
gonna
it is. He's
I
agreeing
thought-
with the reevaluation of your money is the end of BRICS, because that's what they're doing in essence before he's done it or it's been released around the world. See, right now your U.S. dollar is still everywhere, and they're being told to use it. The reason why BRICS is coming about is so that they can use their own money. RV does the same thing, so there's no need for BRICS because it's the ultimate BRICS. Everybody's money will be reevaluated, not just the ones that joined that BRICS. Everybody's money gets reevaluated. So that's in essence how it would be stopped.
Right. So I understand that everybody's money is reevaluated, but what happens is everybody's money can be used, correct?
That's the same thing.
Right. So BRICS is basically to get the world to stop using the petrodollar. So I'm in my mind, BRICS is still BRICS. It's still getting everybody off the petrodollar, but we're kind of joining with them. I guess I'm not clear as to how BRICS is being completely stopped, because they're basically getting everybody to basically have the same power, even playing field as the U.S. has had the past 50 some years. Now, if I'm not understanding it, if you can clear up.
Well, we can clear it on the adult call. This is the kids' corner. So let's table this for the next call, and I'll jump on it right away.
Okay, I just wanted to add another back to what we were talking about with the credit cards and the debit card. One other way, it's just a means of just added security. Even though you got a hot wallet, using your debit card, which is separate from the cold wallet. Of course, you said you never link the cold wallet up to any purchases, but you can even protect your decentralized hot wallet debit card by using a regular credit card to make all your payments, then paying the credit card off. That way, your debit crypto card is never connected to any purchases. Any of the companies that you're purchasing products from, you're not even connecting your debit card to that. You're only using your credit card, which the credit card has none of your money. You're just borrowing money and then paying it off with the debit card. I'm just thinking it's just an added security measure. Does that make sense? Or
that's a lot of work for the same outcome, but whatever works for each individual, do the due diligence on using credit cards. I'm trying to get the understanding across that you don't have to use their money.
Right.
The whole idea of being private is having your own private money as well to do all the same things. Now, if they want to use the credit cards, they're out there. But again, before you take a credit card, read it. Look at the terms and conditions and what you would be paying for whatever amount that you would be charging versus going to go buy it with your own system.
Right.
To continue using credit cards and whatnot is staying in their system where they control what happens to your finances.
Correct. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Not saying one way is the only way. I'm saying read the terms and conditions so you are fully aware of what you're doing. If you want to use credit cards in that fashion and then pay it off in the background using other methods, learn it well, because now you're using both systems together. Make sure you keep everything in your notebook, what credit cards you have, what those credit cards are used for, and only use those credit cards for those things, so that you have a different card for whatever, and keep that process tight. Never say, well, I'll get it next week. That's procrastination. As soon as you add that into your system, everything goes to hell. Because you'll forget who you're paying, how much you were paying, supposed to pay. Now you're late because you went one payment later because it was, keep it simple, keep it moving. Any other questions?
Yes, Mr. Lewis, I have one more question. Is credit still going to be important? Like
That's
store
up to
credit
you.
anywhere?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's up to you, because, like I said, when you use your own bank, you use your own debit card, you use your own resources, what is credit for? You have to remember, how do they determine your credit score? They determine it by how much money you make, how much you put into their system, and how often you make your payments, because they're watching every payment you make. They are keeping a track if you get late or not. That's why when we first started, I said, anything that you're paying for, pay for it 3 days in advance. If your due date is on the 12th, 3 days before, it should be in their system. That's how you build credit. Because you're worthy. You're always early. You're never late. So your credit score will jump, jump, jump. You pay off things in the time span that they gave you. If you pay it 3 days early, it'll be slightly earlier than the 3 years or 5 years or whatever it is they give you. Okay? So will it be part of the system? Absolutely. As long as there's a bank somewhere, there's going to be a credit score that you have to bow down to. Okay? Remember, credit score means you're in their system. Non-credit score is because you have your own. Your choice. You can have them both. Like Alan was saying, you can do both. Just be awesome about keeping your records.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lewis.
You're welcome.
Yeah, just to throw in one thing, ever since I learned that you use a credit card and you pay it off before it's due, you never pay any interest years ago, I said to myself, when I get to the point that you're going to bring us to in APD and Team Royal, when I have, so much money that it doesn't matter, I'll get any credit card that comes out. I don't care if the stipulations say we're going to charge you 50% interest. What difference will it make to me? If I'm going to pay it off before it's due, I'm never going to pay him any interest. And that's the only reason why I still had, credit cards in my mind or whatever. I don't know, as long as the fiat's here, we're going to be our own bank, and you still be on the other side with them. You'll be at the top with their credit system until it's finally, I don't know, gone or whatever. But that was my only reasoning basically behind the credit card.
Okay.
Main one. Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Concerns, thoughts, comments? All right. I'm going to go ahead and end YouTuber.